I want to say a few thank yous for the people who helped pull tonight together. Yuri, you've done a great job, so thank you for that. Kathy, Joe, and Randy, you've been a big help in pulling all this together. Sangram, all these videos and things that we've seen, thank you very much. It's been a great start to the night. I do have one gentleman who wanted to be here that, since we just did the video, I was going to read a little note from him. For those of you who go way back, Dennis Kalsher was trying hard to get here, but got stuck on the way back from Ireland, so I guess that's a decent excuse in terms of not being able to make it. But he sent me a note tonight, Dan, I want to read from. He says, "Please pass my very best wishes to Dan and to all AFI. And also, please thank him for his animated end-to-end presentation graphics in the early days that were instrumental in my ability to get our private label site into big financial institutions. I cannot get the car going around the slide in a circle out of my head. I still have nightmares about that. I have nominated them for the inclusion in the Smithsonian." And then Dan, you'll have to fill us in on this one. "And tell Dan I'm expecting him to do a solo dance to his favorite song from Rocky Horror Picture, Time Warp, as his exit to the evening." So Dennis wishes you the best. Just a few notes to follow up. I want to say a few words here to, about Dan. So this is the first time I've ever had anyone who's worked for me who's retired. I've had plenty of people quit, just never one ever retired. So, I don't think I like it, one bit. But Dan's leaving at a time that he's active and healthy and young, can go out and enjoy. So congratulations for that, and we envy it. As I was looking and I was thinking about different retirement things, and I did find a couple little cards here with retirement advice. I went through 20, found two that I liked here. So I just want to share a few retirement wisdoms here on there. The first one, this one's for you. Okay. It's called The Definition of Retirement. Twice as much husband on half as much money. Good luck. And then I thought this was a valuable tip as well. The #1 secret to enjoying successful retirement. All right, Dan, you paying attention?
Yeah.
Don't die on the job. Seemed like pretty good wisdom. Now seriously, Dan has had an immeasurable impact on Answer and all we've accomplished. Now he might not like that statement, immeasurable, because for Dan it had to be measured. And actually that's a passion we shared and bonded. I can't tell how many times in the whiteboard, mapping it up, figuring out what was going on in the business, solving one of those problems. And Dan's legacy for me is always getting here. I come in, "Dan, we got this going on. What's that? We got to do this. We got to do this." And he's like, "Slow down, Rob, okay?" That's the famous words. "What's the problem we're trying to solve here?" I can't tell you how many times I've used that. So, Dan, you have many legacies with me, but that's going to be one, and always starts. What's the problem we're trying to solve? We had a great partnership. We bonded over the hard work and the data and the many things Answer has gone through. And you will be sorely, sorely missed. So on behalf of all of us here at AFI, we got a couple presentations we'd like to make. Yuri, you have those for us. John, you want to help her bring that up?
This is from me.
Oh.
That's from Jenna.
Okay. Now, first of all, Dan is celebrating his 32nd anniversary as he's hinted. So we have to start off with a little something for the most important person in the room. Lana, happy anniversary. I only had to put up with it for 10 years. You've done 32. That's pretty impressive. Next, we got Nice little frame and certificate for Dan. I'll just take a minute and read it here quickly, if I can get it out of the... oh, sorry. First of all, Dan, we have a small little anniversary card here for you with notes from everyone. Don't need to read it now. You'll have plenty of leisure time. So, take advantage of that over here the next few days.
Staying awake at work is now in the past.
And a little certificate of appreciation from all of us in recognition of your valuable contributions to Answer. Dan, thank you. Answer will not be where it is today without your leadership. You will be missed. And next, you may notice this small, unobtrusive box sitting up here in front of me. And I was struggling with the right way to do this. I was struggling with the right way to present this, to tell the story first, or have them open the box first behind this gift. But if I tell the story first, then it's given away. So we're all going to sit here and enjoy Dan opening the box, and I'm going to tell a little story about this gift. So Dan, have at it.
How long do you need? I want to go closer.
No, I'm not starting the story until you've opened the box. So start ripping. Go Dan, go.
Is she kind?
You want to offer him that knife, Yuri? Go ahead. You need the help, Dan?
You might.
Manly man.
Oh, styrofoam! Yay!
There'll be some more of that. Yeah, slide it out. Randy, you want to come help him? That's not busted on the way out. That's a familiar looking shape. The largest salad ever walked. We did this just to build up the suspense. Recognize it?
Recognize it, yes.
All right, now for the story. It was about last June or so. Dan and I were sitting down. We have our regular Thursday morning meeting, and we get through all the business stuff, and we're killing a little time. And somehow I started talking to him about watching a pawn shop with my kids the night before. And he goes, "I got a pawn shop story." He says, "I'm up in Solvang and I found this guitar that I just, loved. And I'm going to go up there this weekend. And I'm going to buy that guitar." And I've been researching it with Randy, and I get a little flavor, from Randy. Here's Randy's piece of the story when Dan sees this guitar. In June last year, Dan made an urgent call on the weekend. Production issues? System problems? None of the above. He wanted my advice. He found a vintage Guild D25 guitar at a pawn shop near Solvang. He played a little, he picked it, it played well, strummed it, sounded nice. So in Dan fashion, thinking about it, he researched it, he found videos of similar guitars, he read reviews, he talked about it, he looked up the serial numbers, and he investigated the pricing. He built a spreadsheet and a pivot table to examine the options, and the more he thought about it, the more and more he wanted it. He decided he was going back that weekend to Solvang to buy it. The mistake he made, though, was telling me about it that Thursday. So I got my co-conspirator, Randy, immediately got on the phone with the pawn shop up there and said, I need this guitar, and I need it now. We did some negotiation, little to know that I was going to get that guitar one way or another, but I managed to get a few bucks off of it. So I feel good about that. I immediately gave it all back in shipping because they wanted me to come pick it up in Solvang. And I needed it out of the store before then. And I said, okay, now this guy's going to be coming up this weekend. Just tell him it was sold. Please don't give him any details about it. I want nothing to know. So the guy I promised said, no problem. Problem is, Dan went to the shop and he talked to the other guy. And the guy go, oh no, that guitar? Sorry, it was just sold. And I sold? What do you mean I want it sold? Where'd you sell it to? Some guy in Encino. Dan's like, I work at Encino. Where in Encino? I think it was like on Ventura Boulevard or something. Ventura? I work on Ventura. And Dan's coming back to the office the next after that Monday. He says, my guitar's gone. Somebody in Encino Ventura going around, Chris, Randy, looking a little suspicious, but never discovered. It's been sitting in Shelby's office back in the corner since June, waiting for tonight. So Dan, I hope it meets your expectations. That's from all of us. And thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you.
Will be missed.
So I have one more part of that story. One is probably telling you guys in back there right now. So I was on my way up there, and I think I was going to get there around 1 o'clock or so, and Juana called up that she was going to buy the guitar before I got there. And I guess it had just been sold just right before she called. So I guess I was bound to have this guitar. So, thanks, everybody.